I believe that we are starting soon.
Oh, that's us.
Hola, everyone. I'm back on the podcast. It's been a couple weeks. Glad to see you all here on this beautiful Friday night. How you doing, Carl?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
About them Jets, huh?
What are we listening to
It
this week?
sounded worse. That's not too bad.
Sorry about that. Our gear has just collectively decided to shit itself somewhere. It's fine. It was time for an upgrade somewhere.
Yeah, this week we're listening to Nation by AMALGA. I guess I'll take the pseudo-host role.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Woo! Trifecta, baby.
We want to get started with our top 3.
Yep.
All right.
My top 3 was I Go, What Can I Say, and Oftentimes.
My top 3 were I Go, What Matters Most, and We Never Learn Our Lessons.
Well, my top 3 I have Last Leg, What Can I Say, and What Matters Most.
Well, my top threes are different. I got Shiver, 1221 of 12, and Belief.
All right. We'll go ahead and get into our bottom songs this week. Why am I saying this week? My bottom song is We Never Learn Our Lesson.
My bottom song is Frequency Strange.
My bottom song is Belief.
My bottom song is We Never Learn Our Lesson.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm setting shit up. Give me 1 second. All right. First track, Amen. I gave Amen a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.5.
I gave this one a 6.
Give it a 6 out of 10.
Who wants it?
I liked the vibe this song started with. You know, I had high hopes from the kind of the sound coming out and the overall feeling of what was going on. That was big in this. At the same time, I definitely didn't figure out the grunge. This was kind of listed as a grunge album. I got kind of excited, and then this song was definitely too long. I think we'll go into that a lot.
Yup, I couldn't agree more. By the way, Winge, this is a relatively new band. That might be why you haven't heard of them. I think this album dropped. This is their first album, and I think it dropped 2 months ago.
Is
that right?
That's how long it got put on YouTube anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Connor's pulling your leg, Winch. You just don't know Americans like that. These guys are huge, multi-millionaires. Everybody knows these guys over here. Come on.
Yeah, but with this song, I agree with Carl completely. The vibe was there, and I saw a couple videos of them playing this one live, and I think that is the better way to listen to this song. I think the mix on this song is fine, but hearing it live, I think, is the way it was meant to be heard.
Yeah, I think a lot of my gripes with this song just come down to personal choices that I don't like the bass tone, just not my favorite. Or how dirty the guitar gets at the end, not my favorite. The fact that there's an ending to the song in the middle of the song, which would have been a perfect cutoff point for the song, and then there's 3 extra minutes. Not my personal favorite. It's just stuff that's there that I don't like. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Carl, I think, said it. This song's just too long. Like you said, there's a cutoff in the middle. I think it would have ended it perfectly. But I do like the vibe here. I think I see what they're going for as far as the atmosphere and tone. And this is like, I'm going to say it right now. This is probably the only time you'll ever hear me say it. The lyrics in this album and the vocals, honestly, don't really matter that much. The vibe and the tone of the music, I think, adds to it in noisiness. I just think moving forward, a couple songs down, I think the vibes get way, way better with the noisiness and the atmosphere and overall tone of it. So,
Yeah, and to wrap, I'll say I actually wrote later that, wow, this probably could have been awesome live. A lot of these arrangements where they drag out feel like it's almost like that. It's almost like they brought their live set into the studio and recorded and didn't trim the fat, and I think that's some of it.
That's I have it written down later too that I think the whole vibe of this album was to be listened to as if it were a live show, and I think seeing it live would be sick. But I do think that's what they were going for with this. Is that all we got for this song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right. Move on to What Matters Most. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I also gave this a 7.
Give it a 5 out of 10.
You
Damn it, Zach.
bitch.
I just think it runs too long. You know, like a lot of these songs, like you can cut them in half. You just cut them in half, and they do have vocals on this one. I wrote it down when I was listening to it. The vocals and the recording, honestly, on this track, just doesn't work together. I find it very mid. Shut the hell up.
I think I'm going to agree with you on the it was too long, but not for the reason of it's too long. I think it's too repetitive. And
But repetition can be good, though.
yeah, but I think it's done better later on this album. But I think this song, it doesn't drag on for too long. They say the same thing too many times in a row.
5 out of 10.
So that's what I was going to say. I think repetition legitimizes, but I think saying something 5 times in a row is not repetition.
I'm definitely taking up the mantle of Dylan from last week. This
The villain.
episode.
The villain.
You listen to this shit for 4 hours.
No, not that one. Just the vibrator.
The first of all, the transition from this song or from the last song into this song was quite possibly non-existent. Just wanted to get that off my chest. The guitar tone in this song, I actually
Drill.
liked. In like kind of a switch from the last one, they kind of kept it pretty good for the most part. Had that nice like barely distorted, barely not clean tone that you like. It was bright, it was fun, and the song was like it was catchy. Like I was kind of grooving with it, moving. Like that's kind of what you want out of a song. So
I will say throughout this album, they do a lot of like the acid rock tones, and I really like that style. But I didn't have more than that. Sorry.
This I thought this track had a really I thought it had a really nice build in the center of it. This was the one where I noticed that the most. That I was actually kind of happy this one went on a little longer because it had kind of a. It wasn't necessarily a dynamic build. It was more of like in the arrangement. It got bigger as time went on, and it definitely kind of had a pointed direction to it. I think that's how this ended up on my top 3. It's just because it kind of had forward momentum, which is. I'll get more into that later.
Sorry, I'm going to jump back to what Logan was saying. You were talking about the bass tone and not really vibing with it. It took me to the end of the song, but I did realize I think the bass is super buried in this song. Like, it's almost not even there, and that was...
really, I feel like maybe I'm smoking crack, or maybe it's just how I listen.
You
to
are
it.
smoking crack.
Everything was mixed to like the same volume. So it was like solos weren't louder. The vocals were buried because everything was the same volume as it. The drums were really loud because the snare drum was super like high pitched.
I agree with most of that, but in this song specifically, I think the bass got buried.
So the mix in general is very, very busy on this whole album to a point that things cover other things that should be sculpted out for other things. And there's so much reverb going at all times that sometimes it makes it hard to hear anything with definition. Someone spent a lot of time doing it. So I hope that's what they were going for. Between all the layering, between all this processing that was done, it's a very mid-scooped album, which probably sounds awesome on small speakers. I didn't get a chance to try that, but somebody spent a lot of time on it.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
there's
Passion project for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I usually would save this for the next song, but this is a pretty good transition. This is, I think, the first of many times that it's going to transition pretty well into the next song, like an intentional transition.
Yeah, unlike the last.
The last one did
time.
not have one that was real, but they do it a lot towards the second half, and I think it works really well then. This one's not bad either. I don't know why I made it sound like this one was bad, but next up is Belief. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
I give this one an 8 out of 10.
Really? I'll defend real quick before Zach tells me I'm wrong.
Do it.
My biggest issue was the vocals clashing with each other. That happened a lot on this song, and it's also a little repetitive like the last song. I think this is another one where I'm pretty sure seeing it live would be better.
Sorry.
But it was just like we were saying earlier, the vocals on the same volume, and then if any kind of problem within the vocals, it would just clash really bad in my headphones, and I don't. This one wasn't my favorite, but they do it better in other tracks. Is the main thing.
There's a really cool piece of software called an automatic double tracker. So if you're not getting consistent tracking, that's something you can use to get that effect without having to do layered tracks, because a lot of the layered tracks are out of tune with each other in this album. Just a little pin. I don't have anything constructive to really say about this track. I'm not gonna lie. I just wrote, it should be striving for quality over quantity. I think there's a lot of quantity on this album as a whole. This was the one that kind of rubbed me the worst about it.
I like this one. I don't know what you guys are on. I think this is like really good. This doesn't sound good, but to me it's a good thing. I just feel like this is a song that I can just put on in the background. It's vibey, it's emotional. I feel like it's personal. Logan doesn't like that answer. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
I mean, that is the theme of season 3 of this show.
But I don't
now.
mind music like that, and like in my headphones and the vocals clashing honestly sounded kind of cool. But that's just me, and I think I'm talking a lot of shit about the runtime in the first 2 songs. Here, this song's like 6 minutes. I think it works. I liked it. Just kind of drone off a little bit and just vibe to it. Kind of my thing.
I'll be constructive, I guess. I don't know. I think the vocals could either use turn down or compressor. Take your pick. One of the things is gonna fix it if you turn it up enough, or if you turn the volume down, it'll do the same thing. Then there's just so much that goes on in the mix. It just needs toned down a lot. Everything needs pulled back just a little bit. This kind of feels like a jam sesh that got recorded and maybe one too many pedals got left on or something like that. And that's not a bad thing, because that's very fun when you're there. It's just sometimes hard to translate when you're not there. And I haven't seen this band live, so I can't picture being there.
You were there in your heart, Logan. That's what matters.
I mean, I was there in my heart, but if I can't picture it, if I can't feel it, it's hard. It's not like, that's why I love crowd noise in the beginnings of songs, because it puts me right in that crowd. That's why Frampton Comes Alive is so great. If there was some crowd noise in this, of some just size of a room, I could be there, and maybe I'd get this song a little bit more.
You ready for a Carl rant? I absolutely hate crowd noise in albums. It's mostly because most of the people that were in the crowd are now dead, and it makes me think about that every time I listen to an old album.
Or they're fucking wasted, dude.
Yeah.
They're fucking high, they're wasted, or they don't even care, honestly. Some people just show up to a concert just to go.
How many Jack and Cokes and meatball sandwich?
I've had 0 Jack and Coats and 0 meatball sandwiches.
Yeah,
Yet.
but what's the max you've had before a concert?
Oh, boy. 3 3/8 of a Jack and Coke.
I was just saying, better yet, whose concert was it?
It was a man's concert. A man had a concert. A meatball sandwiched out Zach Anderson, full tummy, got in the car with the boys, showed up, and I had about 3 3/8 of Maters and Coke. It was Maters and Coke. Get the story right when you want to bring it up. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's the last time I've had Maters and Coke.
That's
Makers
probably.
is it's a pretty good step up from Jack. I think that's a.
But is it, though? Because, the end solution was not a pleasant experience. And it's not the Makers that was the problem. It was the meatball sandwiches that was the problem. And I haven't had a meatball sandwich since then.
Dude, I eat a meatball sub every other week.
I was just saying, that's actually a terrible fate. I think the best part about all that was just looking over to you and just being like, You guys need to get him some fresh air, like right now.
I died, folks. I was resurrected that night. I woke up on my floor in my boxers. Like the next morning. It was bad.
This is new lore to this story.
So when you
I knew this lore.
when you started saying that, I started singing the song "You Died in My Arms Tonight," the '80s song.
I'll die in your arms,
Cutting
Carl.
Crew?
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Apple Music.
By the way, Winch, what do you mean? How did we get that far? It's gonna take like 30 seconds for him to get that, so
That is very
not
true.
waiting up.
All right, let's we ready
We
to go
moving
on,
on?
to the next song?
Next up is I Go. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh shoot, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Nope, I ruined it, boys. Gave it a 6.5.
No,
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
acceptable.
This one is a vibe. It's that like acid rock style that I really like. The vocals are a tiny bit low on this, but I think that was intentional for the style. And that's really all I had. I just like the song.
Yeah, call me a chotch. But the acid rock I like is whatever sounds like Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. That is my bass line. And this one got pretty close-ish. It got the very ambient sound just right. It was very fun. The tone to pretty much everything was good. Like for most of the song until it got a little outrageous. It was just very enjoyable.
You know, I actually don't remember which NASCAR Thunder game Magic Carpet Ride was in. I don't know if it was 2002 or 2004. So if anybody knows that and can put it in the comments and let my brain gears settle, I'd really appreciate that. Sorry, back to the song. I was so happy this was a little more upbeat. This was the kind of the point where I was like, okay, they're kind of pulling out of that kind of slow vibe. And a 6.5 sounds like a low score, but I actually kind of liked this one. I liked the feel change towards the middle too. So that
Yes.
son of a gun. Just trying to
I
get Zach
broke
over here
him.
and got me. Yeah.
Point for Cool Couch.
All right. I didn't know it was war.
I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Positive score. You know, once again, sounds like background music, which I like. But I did write down that the vocals on this one kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know. This happened like 6 hours ago, but you know. But the vocals kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't think this song differs anything other than what you brought up with the, the feel change in the middle. Kind of abrupt, but 7 out of 10 is pretty good for me.
There was an alternate rating score I saw in a video where you go from -10 to 10, and I don't think I can ethically bring that into here and change this because Steven would have an infinite number of options.
Okay,
then,
no,
but-
the thing was that rating, I saw that video. The
Mhm.
rating scale was to stop people like Steven from existing. And it was to get rid of decimals. -10, or -10 being the side of like, I absolutely hate this, 0 being it's fine, and then
Mhm.
+10 being it's great.
So I mean,
It's a valid scale.
I know we don't all go quite off the same scale, but I like to think of 5 as neutral, and then I go like anything from 6 to 9. I like to the song.
Mhm.
Anything from 4 to 1, or I don't know. I've never given anything a 0 yet. It could happen, but and then I reserve 10s for killer tracks. A 10 is pretty much like, oh, it was perfect. So I like leaving that number on its own pedestal. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
but
I
imagine
think about
hating a song so much you give it a -9.
it. If you turned on Metallica, I would give it a -27 out of -10.
Someone's crying over there on that cool couch.
Huh?
Someone's
What? No, I
crying
just had to
on that cool couch.
I just had to giggle. So I turned away from the mic. I just spoke out of
No,
mic.
real,
to
real
say
men
that.
cough into the mic.
I said giggle. I didn't want
I
to
do agree with you though. 5 is like mid for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just mid.
Do you guys want to hear the honest answer of how I rate things? I look at it like this. I'm like, how big of a dick do I want to be today?
Damn,
then-
dude,
and
you
then-
are a dick.
And then I pick a specific rating scale based off of how big of an asshole I feel like being. So when I start to get into like super asshole mode, 5 is like your song is probably bad, but I'm gonna find something good in
Want to
it.
hear something funny about this album? I started listening to this last night. Got 3 songs in, and I was like, dude, I'm in a terrible fucking mood. I'm not gonna listen to this until tomorrow. I listened to it twice today at work. Then I did my ratings and shit. But I put the fucking thing off. I was like, I can't do this right now. I feel like too much of a dick right now.
I've had reviews like that.
No, that's like my favorite time to do the reviews.
Yeah, that must be how you guys rated Jeff Buckley's Grace, like you did.
Oh,
No.
Hey, mine
Oh,
wasn't
don't even
that
get me
bad.
started on that video.
You want to know the thing about that? That is how I feel about that album at any given moment.
There's some great songs on there.
It's just I don't like it.
My
I will
review
say
wasn't
this.
that bad.
His dad's a lot better. His dad, Tim Buckley, and no one talks about him.
Controversial take.
Don't let Steven hear that.
Tim Buckley is a better singer than Jeff Buckley. I said it.
Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. Are you fucking serious?
Carl just gave me the death stare so quick.
Are you fucking serious? Michael Bolton, he's okay.
No,
For a joke
that's what
to
we
be,
call a callback.
Yeah, for a joke to be funny, it has to be valid. That's why I was giving you the glare.
All right, we ready to re-rail the episode?
Dude, this fucking mic is bigger than my face. What is this shit?
It's also
Like,
like,
was it like lower it and
Yeah, you
aim
can
it up?
tilt it up. Yeah, that's the only way
I
you
say
can
you
see
look
it.
like
Yeah.
a radio host right now. That like doesn't know what they're doing.
Oh, that's funny.
So you gotta twist the knob in the middle. Your mom should have taught you all about that.
It's just like the talk with the priest.
Okay.
Do we want the Zach messes with his mic segment?
It's
or
my
do we
first
wanna move
fucking
on?
day here, folks.
Does it remind you of church camp?
Oh, that's funny. Fucking villain. They're villains.
You know what's funny, and I can say because he's never going to see this. Zach, Dylan, and KB had a guest appearance before Carson got to sit down in the new studio.
That is so true.
Well, he hasn't been here yet?
No,
Womp womp.
Why?
he's just been out.
Is he missing?
Yeah,
Did
If
someone
you can
kidnap him?
find Carson and bring him to us,
Did someone
we'll
kidnap
give
this
you
man?
$0.
I think he's wearing a stripy red and white hat. If you look for him, it's kind of a puzzle. He might be a little easier to find than Waldo, but
he's actually dressed like the thing in the corner over there. If you find him out in the street, grab him.
it's just him.
Yeah.
He might be missing. He might have got
He might.
kidnapped.
But we never learn our lesson.
Oh,
I get-
what a fucking what a move into the next song right there.
I
call that a sagoo, boys. A sagoo.
I can't do it because the last person who did that didn't end well.
Seduce sounds like
so-
a sexual thing. It does, dude.
That's
You're
a
just a fucking built-in soundboard, Zach. I need you to know that.
I don't know what that means,
so
but I
it's-
like
it's-
it.
No, it's segue. I pronounced it wrong on purpose because my first
I'm
episode.
fucking stupid then because I don't know.
No. On my first episode, I went on a rant about how the segue is called segue because it gets you between two things.
Seduce sounds like a lot cooler though.
Okay, well, I just we do completely wrecked everything Connor's trying to do here.
I'm
all
sorry,
right.
Connor.
It's all right because this is a weird song. I gave it 2 scores, and I'll explain why. But I gave it both a 4 out of 10 and a 7.5. We'll get to it.
I gave it just a 7 out of 10.
I give this one a 6.
I gave this a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
The dichotomy of man.
Let's say
You wanna-
which extreme wants it.
Yeah, do you want to go first?
I'm gonna go first. Why in the hell is this shit 11 minutes? That's like my number one.
I can explain that when I get to my turn.
You know, like the music like drowns out. They're going for the acid rock feel. Then they have that chant about Jesus in the middle. Nothing against Jesus, but I feel like this song should have been like 5 minutes long. You start the song where it's like Jesus, like the Jesus little chant, right? And then take that as the first like I don't know 45 seconds, and then just go out to the end of the song. 5 minutes. Boom.
So what you're saying is use only the third movement, basically.
Pretty much. I
Just
think it
half
would have
the
been a
second
lot
before
better
you
because
use
the
it as an
first like
outro.
the build up doesn't work. It's annoying. Doesn't work.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on not. I didn't like the center of this at all. So I actually scored each segment separately. So I gave the first movement a 6, the second movement a 5, and the third movement a 7. And I really think if it was just the third movement, I think I would give it even higher. I think this might have been one of my favorite songs on the album. Because when it finally pulled through, I really, really liked it. I just don't know if I liked it because it was finally there or if I liked it because it was good.
So yeah, my scores. I think if you cut at about the 6 minute mark, you can shorten the parts surrounding the 6 minute marks as it needs to. But there is 2 songs here. There is one 6-minute song that I really didn't care for, and I wrote down, I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't like what's happening in the song. It just wasn't for me. But then the second half, the last 4 minutes is a completely separate song that I did really like, and probably, like you said, would give a higher score if it was on its own.
I feel like someone grabbed my fucking nose and just kept like squeezing it when I was listening to this song. That's like the best way I can describe it.
Have you checked to see if you're haunted wherever you are? Is haunted?
Like I don't know, man.
Might be
Like
you personally. That's a very psychosomatic symptom there. Psychosomatic symptom. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I just they're reaching so high for something, and the first few songs I felt it, and then the one I really like, and then this one it's 11 fucking minutes. It's 11 fucking minutes.
My dad just sent this picture with the caption, Zach and Carl.
I haven't been wrecked
That's
that good
gonna
in a
be
while.
on screen for the Monday, Wednesday reel.
I don't know, man. If the song's like, if a song's over 8 minutes, it better do something. I just don't think it did something here for me, other than like the last like couple minutes.
I kind of feel the same way about dates if they're over 8 minutes. No, I'm just kidding, sorry.
Darn.
Logan.
All right. Let me. Excuse me. Let me get the complaints out of the way first. The title, man. If it's a parenthetical, I understand that there's 3 movements to this. Just say all movements or something. I don't put all 3 of the movement titles, man. There's so much empty space. In a bad way for like a little chunk of this song, and then in a good way for a good chunk of this song. When the guitar kind of kicks in later on, there is just way too much distortion for like earbuds. It was peaking my headphones out pretty bad. But I'm also pretty sure this is a song that you can hear the fuzz start breaking because you're just going a little too hard. Which is great if it's a stylistic choice. If you were thinking, I have too much distortion, what's happening? Turn your fuzz down a little.
I love breaking stuff in cool ways.
Yeah, it's like, it sounds really cool, and if it's the intention, I love it. But then you get people that do it on accident.
I know.
Huh?
Sorry, that was a bit for Anthony.
I break mirrors with my face. No, I don't. No. It's not crazy. I don't know, man.
You like smash your head into them?
I wish. I should. Perhaps I did in a past life. I don't know. I'm all over the place tonight, guys. I don't know.
I used to know what the phobia of mirrors was. I was going to say that, but
Well, it's a reflection. It's called self-image issues.
so at least you know. Hey, no, good news. You know you're not a vampire. I struggle with that sometimes since I glow in the dark.
You glow in the dark?
Yeah, welcome to being a super pale ginger. I get moonburned
If
I'm
you
outside
crack
without a
him and
shirt.
shake him,
You know, like
try him real quick.
I don't want to. I'm a glow stick.
Hey, Zach.
What?
Witchy says you look like an airhead and he would eat you.
Shut the fuck up.
I bet you're orange flavored too, bro.
I do like the orange flavor, so that makes sense. The lemonade's pretty good too. The pink lemonade's hard to find.
All
I
right,
think
are
it got
we
discontinued.
are we ready to move on?
It's just called banter, folks. God damn. Banter.
I'm not talking into your mic.
Banter. I always do that, don't I, Sterling?
A little bit. The next song is Frequency Strange. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the page, boys. I give that a 5.
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I get this out of the way.
I'll get this out of the way. Look, man, all right. The drums yoinked out of existence in the background. The guitar is really, really loud. It kills the vocals. And then just, I think some of the harmonies might have slipped up a little on here. It's that, or there's just too many stacks going on and something's going, whoa, 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 you know?
Can you make that sound again for me, please?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
I think this song, I wrote down, I kid you not, one or the other things right now. It makes me feel weird things. Don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But what you said with the drums really pissed me off, and that like towards the middle of this, and then the vocals, like I liked them, but they were not necessary towards the end. Like, if we're gonna vibe, let's vibe. Let's not fuck around here. And I think this is like the best. I liked it. I gave it 6 out of 10, but it's too long again. Yeah, pretty much it.
I definitely didn't hate this song, but I took a listening break in between the last track and this track, just because of how my day went. But when I turned it on, I noticed the reverb really, really prevalently, kind of just the overall soak of everything going on, which is that's take it or leave it. You either love it or don't. It did lead to a little bit of mud on everything. The other thing I noticed is since I was listening to this on YouTube, I went to the little settings and turned it on 1.5 times speed the second time. This song is awesome, a little faster. So that may be one of those like, oh, maybe it's good live. We're still getting wrecked over there. Is that what's going on? Oh my god. Sorry, I think apparently I look like comic book guy too. So there's that comedy.
I'm a child, folks. I'm a little boy.
Zach, you do kind of look like Slappy from Goosebumps.
It's not the first time I've heard that. It's not the first time I've heard that.
I love you, buddy. It'll get better.
I do like Goosebumps though. R.L. Stein's my dog, dude.
You
Robert
friends with
Lawrence. Robert Lawrence is my friend.
him? Oh, really?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Mr.
Mr. L. Stein?
Robert Lawrence.
He's
Robert
on a
Lawrence
first,
Stein.
He's on a first name basis.
He's on a first middle name
Deuce
basis.
Bumps. Dude, he's that man's a fucking legend, low key.
Forgot you were an English major.
Shut the hell up. He's like the child version of Stephen King.
That's what I was literally about to say.
Like,
yeah, like if you read that in elementary school, you're gonna pick up Stephen King in middle
So
school.
what,
and
you
high
think he
school.
snorted pixie sticks and then wrote Welcome to Horrorland?
yes, it might not have been pixie sticks. It might have been like you crushed up Smarties and just snorted them.
Well, Stephen King was doing cocaine. R.L. Stein was doing Smarties.
Dude, low
Stay
key.
in school, kids.
The fucking show, I forget what episode it was, but one of the episodes, the kids, like, it's like a haunted house in their neighborhood, and one of the kids gets trapped in the house, and the other kid just leaves them there. Dude, as a kid seeing that, I was like, what the fuck? Go back in there and get your homie, dude. Like, what the hell? And then they just leave him with the ghost.
Zach, I need you to know that if we are ever in a scenario where I can abandon you to be left alone, surrounded by ghosts, I'm taking that opportunity.
Your mother
And I'm
abandoned
taking your
you in a
flashlights.
fucking grocery store. and
I'm
it
so happy it
traumatized you.
happened.
It traumatized.
Yeah, it's funny.
Trauma
we do
dumping
have an
on me,
event coming
Logan.
up where we might be able
Goddamn.
to
I say I
abandon
might
Zach.
have the ability to do that here soon.
So you guys want to bury some Carl? you want me to do another Segue here?
Segu.
A
Segu.
good Carl story. I guess were Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure, or were there others?
There
that-
were some that were, and
Who
I
was
think
Afraid of
they
the Dark?
came a little later.
Who was Afraid of the Dark? That's
Yeah,
what
that's
they
what
were.
it is, yeah.
Are
So
you afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid
Yeah.
of the dark? So I remember getting one of those as a kid and just reading it straight through and being like, this book makes no sense. And never picking up another one and not understanding how Choose Your Own Adventure worked until like way later in life and me being like, oh.
Maybe you made no sense.
I like to think that
Zach, my dad says that you are knowledgeable regarding R.L. Stein.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it.
All right, you ready to move on? You got What Can I Say? I gave it an 8 out of 10.
give it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
7 out of 10.
Let me get this one out of the way.
I can take this real quick. So this one, first off, is very hard to listen to in like one headphone because it's stereo split, but I think it does really good right after the very empty intro. But when everything shows up, I really like this song. So
I really hate bad stereo splits. That's a pet peeve of mine. I actually get really mad. I can't listen to the Beatles on streaming because it will randomly play the stereo mixes, and it makes me want to throw up. Because when they were doing the stereo mixes for a lot of those songs, stereo was just a gimmick. So they thought it was a cool idea to put the drums and vocals in one speaker and everything else in the other. And that's how crazy some of those mixes are. So, sorry, small rant aside. I actually really enjoyed this song. I enjoyed the length. Length was the right length.
Mhm.
The speed was a little up. The energy was going. This is top 3.
I'm traumatized right now. What I saw on the other side of the room. But like you said, this feels like a real song. There's the length. I feel like they had a real chorus here. The vocal samples were, maybe they weren't samples. I don't know, but I don't know. Just felt like it had a chorus. It was the most catchy one in my opinion, like with the vocals and then the build up to it, and it was the shortest one, which that helps.
I think the song was under 3 minutes, which
Yeah, I blew my fucking mind when I was listening to it. I'm like, is this 8 minutes again? No, it's not.
yeah,
It's like 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
I will say also, because he's not here and won't see this, I did schedule this review on a week where Carson was not going to be here.
Oh, does it lose a point for every minute it's over 30 seconds?
No, it's legit. Like every minute, it's over. Is it what?
I think it's 6.
Is it that much? I thought it was lower, like 4.
I think he's okay. Dylan is 4. Dylan's like 3.
Yeah,
D-
Dylan's.
Dylan is a villain, dude.
Y'all need to listen to like Octavarium. You need to listen to like songs that progress over those 20 minutes and build. And yeah, okay, so Octavarium's a little long, but
You know,
it built.
you know
Dude,
Godspeed You Black
20-minute
Emperor?
prog rock songs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Go
I got
so
vibes from. I got those vibes from this.
Yeah.
Godspeed's amazing. Godspeed's like 10s.
Yeah,
across the board.
and we've said it before. I mean, I'll definitely say it again. We kind of make it sound like we don't like this album, but we definitely hear
They're
what it
reaching for
was-
something.
what it was
They're-
going for.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of good things about where it started, but I mean, our goal is to nitpick all this stuff and rip it apart. So
Everything I'm seeing in this album is the perfect building blocks to exactly being like genre defining sound. Just need to expand. This is what, first album?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You did what every first album did. You started. And keep going.
yeah, and I'll say it again. Someone spent a ton of time on this.
Oh yeah.
Someone spent a ton of time and probably not a small amount of money, even if they recorded it themselves. Even if you consider your time to be free, as a lot of musicians do. You know, I think someone worked hard on this, and I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
All right. We on yep, got it. Next up is Last Leg. I gave a 7 out of 10.
I give this one a 6.5.
Give this one a 7.5.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I really liked the speed and energy here. This was a little more upbeat. I think this was probably the most upbeat one on the album from what I remember.
Yep.
I mean, I really felt like this was what it was trying to be, and I really like. I have this inkling, and if the band wants to chime in and tell me I'm wrong, I will 100% take it. But I think all this stuff is way faster live, and that whoever set the click tracks in on the album set them way too slow. And if everything was like 1.5 times the speed it was on the album, it would have been awesome. And this track was the right tempo. This one was actually the right tempo for the track.
I think my gripe with this song is that there wasn't a click track. It was fast and it got faster when it felt like it should. But when I listened to an album where everything up to this point has felt click tracked and then this one wasn't, it threw me for a loop. Because, I mean, obviously, if one person speeds up, it takes everyone just a second to catch up. They're like, oh, oops. Usually it's the lead guitar player speeding up, but
So you think I didn't listen that closely. You don't think there's a click track?
I don't think there was
So
a click on
they
this.
probably laid all the rhythm tracks down together, and that's probably part of what I like, because that makes a lot of sense. I tend to prefer the congruency of recording all the rhythm tracks together.
I think it's so much more conducive to a better sound if you take out the click and then play with the natural like band's click. Because if you have a drummer and a rhythm guitar and a bass guitar player that have all played together, they're gonna do tempo changes at the same time. So it's just a great way to record.
Thank you, Dylan.
It's on the bottom. Sorry.
Yeah, this song sounds to me a lot fuller than a lot of the songs on this album, and I think at least for the lead vocals, they're mixed to what you like are expecting. I don't remember about the background vocals or even if there were any on this song, but the vocals, at least the main vocals, were mixed about exactly what I wanted on this album, and I think it's a pretty good acid rock song, and I thought the mix was noticeably better on this song than a lot of the other ones.
I will say real quick, there was just some weird fucking word choices in here at some point. Like they were just saying like Carfax or some like weird shit
telling
in
you,
the
man, the
middle. It
lyrics-
was cool as hell because I was like, you're never gonna see this in a song ever again, but it was just there.
The lyrics on this album, they're cool, but they're unnecessary. Like, you don't need to look at the lyrics here at all. They're just there, which I don't mind. And on this album, that's like one of the issues. On this song, that's one of the issues I had personally. I just felt like a lot of mumbo jumbo going on.
I will say
It was mixed well, but it felt like mumbo jumbo.
Although you're supposed to be on acid, presumably.
But I don't do acid, Logan.
Well, yeah, but like imagine you're don't like do it, but imagine you're tripping balls while listening to this. Are you gonna want to hear real words? No, you're gonna want to listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers and hear about sex in Southern California with drugs.
I don't want to be in Southern California with drugs. Now, sex. Okay, but back to the song. I just felt like it was mumbo jumbo, and like, I don't know, it just kind of bored me a little bit.
Dude,
on
is
this one.
Mumbo Jumbo taken as a band name? Because that's a fire band
I was
name.
just saying, I
it
kind
for
of want
sure
that.
is, but
It has to be. Someone has to have
What
thought
about
of
Jumbo
something, no?
Mumbo?
we might get that.
Wom-
is that
Wombo
our-
Jumbo.
Is that our
Put-
side
Put
project?
that on a
then?
fucking shirt. Mumbo Jumbo ABC Club. ABC me at the movies. I don't know. I got nothing.
I want everything you just said in quotes on a shirt.
With a picture of your face.
So-
I
My-
can do
my
that one. I'm
face-
making that tomorrow. Merch
My
drop.
face belongs like at the end of the magazine, okay?
Belongs hand drawn on a sticker with
No.
you jacked with an American flag behind you. We already have it.
I'm at the end of the
bitch.
magazine.
So,
Okay?
Speaking of the Sagoo, we have nice merch.
I wasn't wearing my hat, but I didn't wear it. I forgot.
Witchy stole my hat and he's yet to give it back to me.
Witchy, you're a bitch.
I have just gotten into the routine of gelling my hair, so I don't want to get my hats all dirty with gel.
That's fair.
Pansy.
That's fair.
No, what I was gonna say is here's our bit about the album shirt club. We did album hat club, album brick club. What other clubs?
We
can
need
come
album
up with?
mug club. 'Cause I want the goddamn coffee mugs. I want one.
I'll make it after this live. You're here. You can give me what you want now.
Fair
I'll
enough.
make it exactly as you want it.
Fair enough.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen. He can give him what he wants now.
Another segue. Hey, we're running out of songs to review in our song review videos. So if you want to see us shit on your shit, drop a comment.
That's true. We hate everything.
We kind of do.
I don't hate everything. It's just some things are not for me.
Zach's a good human. We're not.
Yeah,
Like Acid rock is not my thing.
I'm
This is
just
like
like-
a different wheelhouse for me.
I'm chronically an asshole.
That's your problem.
They make something for that. It's called Preparation H.
12, 21, 12.
I love this song.
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave this a 6.75 out of 10.
5.5.
I gave this an 8. I had a good time with this one.
Well, go Zach.
This is what I wanted track 5 to be. Track 5 was the 11-minute song. It's long. There's multiple parts to it, and I think it built on each part, like different parts, like came together as a whole. Wasn't stupid. Nothing stood out. Nothing needed to be cut off, and like the final 90 seconds, honestly, kind of made me emotional. Vocals were the only time I ever really gave a shit here. Like I actually heard them, and I was like, "This is good." That's pretty much all I wrote.
I didn't write a haiku for this one. I thought about it, but I wrote down washy space doom. It's kind of what this reminded me of, and I don't know. It's not that I hated it. It's not really my thing. It's not really my
We have like 2 spots left in the season. Could take
my thing. I enjoyed it. I definitely did. The energy was still up. Sorry, I just don't have very good notes for this track, and they're distracted over there.
We're talking mumbo jumbo.
Sorry, these last 3 I was also very distracted giving my review, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was done. You go
Oh,
ahead.
shit.
Cut all you want.
This was the track where I realized that I think the entire second half of this album kind of flows song by song into each other, and I thought that was cool. This is a solid acid rock song. I didn't have too many notes for this track, really.
Yeah, I think the vocal lines in this song were very fun. They were catchy. background, it was very full. There was a lot of life to it. This one wasn't overwhelming to me. It felt kind of good. There were a couple of like false ends though, where it would like slow down and go to stop, and then just go again, which kind of pissed me off a little. But sorry, I have the hiccups. Oh my gosh.
I'll scare you later. Sorry.
All right.
Are we moving on?
Don't know if Logan can sleep tonight after that.
I'll be in your closet, Logan. I'll wait for you.
Me too.
No.
You offered.
I kind of painted myself in a corner with that one. It's okay though.
As
I do
long
that.
as you don't pay him.
I
don't
do
think
that
it's
a lot.
proposition.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh hey.
What's a
Alex
ride?
is here. Alex, one of my coworkers.
Hoorah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alex is awesome.
I don't know.
We can fix that.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to Oftentimes, I gave an 8 out of 10.
I gave this a 7 out of 10.
I give this one a 6.
5 out of 10.
I guess I'll go. I had a lot of trouble with the background vocals being out of tune with the mains. This was really when I wrote down about the ADT, the automatic double tracker, just because I felt like a lot of time was put into layering all these vocals, and most DAWs have a free auto-tune plugin, and I understand not wanting to use plugins or not wanting to use auto-tune, not wanting to cheat. But at the same time, you could use ADT to not make this, the background vocals auto-tune. Sorry, that was a really long rant for one thing. But I did really like the guitar and drum groove. Song just ran a little long, other than that.
Listen, I see the vision with the guitar work, the like ethereal effects going on. I see what they were going for. I do agree 100% that the vocals kind of hurt this song a little bit. Let me mix the song.
Look, man.
I really liked what they were doing with the guitars, though.
The vocals are Creed. This was the Creed song.
Can you take me higher?
Yes, I can, baby.
With
Anywho,
arms wide open. Sorry.
just kidding. There was a very Creed delivery to the first couple vocal lines. There was like a weird synth in the background that I kind of digged. It was pretty fun.
Synth goes hard.
Distortion got very dirty. And then this was, there was like a snare. I could just hear piercing through this. And I don't know if I liked it or not. Because it was like a very bright and poppy snare. But it sounded like a marching snare. And I don't know if that was a good sound for this song. It wasn't a marching snare, but that's how it sounded to me.
So there is actually a marching snare on some of the Avenged Sevenfold stuff. He actually used a marching snare. So that's not like that unheard of. But it wasn't. It was like a normal drum set snare, I'm pretty sure.
It was just pingy.
Yeah, it was cranked up. That groove was killer, though.
I wrote, it's not bad, but the last song was better. Try so hard to do something. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about there. But I didn't mention the vocals, though. The vocals I just didn't like them. And then the rare instance where, like, the layering, like, I think it was Serwin who said it, that the layering just turned into noise. Like, I want to hear the instruments. I don't want to be in chaos, the mumbo jumbo. It's not my thing.
There was a lot of phaser and flanger on this one, too, so it had a lot of, like, going on, and I wasn't.
I think they were going for that. I think that's what they were trying
Here's
to do.
the fun thing about that, though. If you don't have those set right with where your reverb is, it sounds really weird and kind of rough because it gets really full really quick.
And I will say every track was recorded with a different reverb tail. The whole album, I heard a lot of that, and it wasn't covered well. So the reverb was kind of a mess anyway. And then you add modulation onto it. You really notice it. You really notice what you're talking about. It just kind of turns into clashing. It kind of sounds like things smashing into each other in a pit at a certain point. And to be fair, 90% of people don't listen to music on studio monitors and don't care. So I guess I'm the mix engineer, so that's the answer. Yeah, a lot of things get ruined.
Yeah, we get to be dicks about music and not enjoy it.
a good way to ruin music that you like is to get into mixing or get into
Yep.
audio engineering or get into any of that stuff. I mean, it makes the Beatles awesome, but it will ruin a lot of other things.
Zach, why do you look so fucking angry?
I'm just thinking about other shit. I'm like zoned out right now. We're good.
He found out he's the control group for this episode.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
The one non-audio engineer.
Yeah, I'm
To
the
any
one
degree.
behind. I'm in like preschool, like music theory and everything. It's okay though.
It's all good. Theory follows practice.
It's okay.
It's important to make good music, not to think about it too much.
Music isn't real.
It's not real. Neither are birds. Birds aren't real either. We're not here right now.
Lizards are real
But they're not though.
in the government.
Oh, not again. Not this
Quit
conversation.
looking at me
again.
when we talk about the lizard government. We're already not supposed to do that.
It's in the South Pole, right?
No, that's Santa.
It's in Antarctica.
Yeah. Which one's what?
That's why you never find them when you go to the North Pole.
No. Which Arctic is which? Which one's the continent? Is that the South Pole?
That's the South Pole.
Okay, it's in Antarctica.
But at this
That's where
point,
the
I
lizard
don't
people live.
believe anything. Fuck these people.
Lizard people have to be closer to the center of the Earth. So they
How do
live
you
all
feel
in
about
Antarctica.
They're in
zones.
Colorado. They're in Denver, Colorado.
No, don't answer his question.
What'd you say?
Don't
How do you
answer
feel
that.
about time zones?
Don't answer that.
Oh, is this? Are you the one who wanted?
I think
wait a second. You're the one who wanted everyone to be on the same time zone.
Yeah, I think we should eradicate time zones.
That is the dumbest.
And we should just run time based off of the centermost point of Earth. And 2 a.m. can just be light some places and dark other places. Who fucking cares?
But we're already doing it right now.
No, we're not.
Like no,
We have to do
time
stupid ass
zones.
conversions.
We have to change it now would end the world.
All right.
That would end the world. It wouldn't. It's not a tsunami. Okay. It's not.
What the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
It's not an
Tsunami's
earthquake.
gonna spawn?
No. All of the trains will crash. That's literally why time zones exist.
Everything would be.
Oh, for the
It would just be
trains.
like
For the
this.
trains,
Like
yeah.
this. See this? See everything? Poof, gone.
You're right. Europe would be in shambles.
Dude, they'd be like, these Americans, they think about themselves all the time. Oh my God. They hate us.
Speaking of, remember that time America tried to go to the metric system and failed? You wanna talk about
Yeah.
things we're
And then
bad at?
people they got fucking upset. That was in the 70s.
Yep.
You know what the best thing is when McDonald's ran the like 3rd pounder, and people bought the 1/4 pounder still,
Yeah,
because they thought it was more.
Yeah. People. Yeah.
You look like a toy found in a Happy Meal of a McDonald's, special event.
With that, we're gonna re-rail this.
You look like
Nope.
you kind of do. Now that I think about it.
Time zones are for farmers, by the way.
The railroads invented them.
We're getting them. We're getting a call in.
Oh yeah.
He's probably thinking.
Either way,
He probably thinks I'm crazy right now.
yep. Shiver. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
No shit, I gave this a 6.5 out of 10.
I ruined it, boys. I gave it a 5. I'm sorry.
Give this an 8 out of 10.
Sorry. I at this point I'd listened to this album for so long. I think I was just bored, and I think I was done. So I think my score is probably lower than it should be. But I did like the acoustic kind of intro going on. I liked the guitar solo. I didn't love the drum feel. It was a little sloppy. But that's it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I just like this song. I think the perfect chaos that I guess Acid Rod tries to go for. I did some of the other songs I gave high scores to. This one did it well for me. The acoustic was nice at the beginning, like you mentioned, and towards the end, honestly, I like the last one that I liked a lot. They're kind of emotional, and then the background like drone. I don't know what the fuck they are. It's like the background noise here. I liked it a lot. It's a good song. Good ender. Good album close.
I completely agree that it is a good ender, but I do think I need to revisit this song because I listened to this in not the best conditions while we were setting up the podcast. So,
No, I don't need to re-listen to this one. I did not like the vocal line, which I think is kind of like one of the more important parts of this song. It just wasn't my favorite. The guitar tone was great. The drums are a little louder than they maybe should be.
you've been proven right.
It's pretty good.
Put the camera off, Carl. Don't do that. That's disrespectful. Don't do that.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm tweaking. Sorry.
We know.
Past Zach's bedtime, ladies and gentlemen.
It's past everybody's bedtime.
It's really not though. This is when the party starts.
All right, we ready to move on?
Well, they need to go. I don't think they've
So
said.
No, I
Zach,
won't.
Zach
I-
already done
Zach
yapped up
did.
a storm.
Carl didn't.
I'd be yapping.
Did you say anything?
Yeah.
Maybe it is past our bedtime.
Maybe it is bedtime.
How many breadsticks have you had today?
Don't ask me about breadsticks.
You know that Fazoli's...
Wait.
No, call back. Call back. One time Fazoli's had a sandwich that was a meatball sub, but it was tiny.
Meatball
and it was
sub?
Made,
Did
it,
we
was
just have-
made, it was made of breadsticks. It was
Perfect
made
circle.
of those Fazoli's breadsticks. Dude, I'm telling you, if they bring that guy back, I'll start eating at Fazoli's again. I'm telling you.
How many breadsticks are you eating, Sirwin?
The overall pacing of this album, I gave a 7 out of 10.
Seems about fair, 7.
I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well.
I'm ruining everything today. I gave this a 5, and it's... I'll go because it's not that the album doesn't flow into each other. It's that I just got tired of it. I wanted it to change. In this genre, a lot of the stuff that I really like has a lot of different flavors and a lot of change-ups and a lot of this and that. And by keeping it kind of that monotonous thing, it made it feel like it dragged on slower. So while this had a good flow, I feel like it didn't have a good pacing.
You
The
might
second-
be.
The second, sorry,
Me and
the
I
second
start
part
talking.
of this album does have a better flow than the first part.
Yep.
Because the first opening song and the second song, that between those makes no sense. The 11-minute song pisses me off. I don't want to talk about it. It makes no sense. But like after that, like this really short song to the end of the album, I think actually like it progressive, like it works. It's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, I might have been rating more on the flow side of things than the pacing, but I think for the most part, it's paced decently. There's a few bumps here and there, but I think overall it's not that bad to sit down start to finish listen to this.
The reason I give it such a decent pacing score is because right about when I would start to write my reviews would be about the same time in every song, be about 3/4 of the way through, which I think is kind of like the perfect way to do it. Is like, all right, clearly I've listened to enough to get an answer of what I need to start writing, and it was at about the same spot in every song. It did give you ear fatigue pretty rough if you weren't able to get a break, just because it can get really overwhelming, especially with both earbuds in. It can be a lot.
I was gonna say mine. I had like 2 breaks from track 1 to track 7, and then a huge break from 7 to 8, and then the rest of it was a disaster for my listening experience. Not because of the songs, just because of when I was able to listen to them. So I did not give it the best shot at this score.
The joys of working a 9 to 5.
Or, yeah, we're working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will agree that I didn't give this the best of opportunities for a good listen either. It just doesn't usually happen on Fridays. I don't have a lot of spare time, and I tried to listen to this last night and stayed up playing Forza instead of doing what I should be doing and listening to albums.
All right, boys. Album art.
Album art, I gave an 8.5 out of 10.
So I'm sitting at an 8.
I'm on the wrong camera. I apologize.
I'm going to give this one a 7.
Bro, I love this album art. I give it a 9. If this was like just a picture, I'd buy it, hang it up on my wall. This is fucking dope.
Yeah, I think I'm a sucker for like actual painted works as album arts. So this one I thought was really cool, especially for the genre that it's in. I really liked it.
It works for the music here.
I think the biggest beef is just I feel like it's supposed to be a play on the Dark Side of the Moon type thing. It's just like a little, I don't know. To me, it leans a little too Floyd, and then the sound feels like you can tell Pink Floyd was an influence.
Is that a problem though?
It is for me.
I was just saying, I am not the biggest Pink Floyd fan.
Brother from another mother. What?
So I will tell
I'm a
you,
Gilmore fan.
Well, yeah, and I will agree with you there. I have trouble with a lot of jam bands or bands that play long tunes because a lot of times there doesn't feel like there's a direction. And
Dogs by Pink Floyd is 17 minutes long. It might be their best song.
Does it just like float around and hang around there? I
There's
will say
multiple.
I'm not-
There's multiple parts to it.
Okay.
However, it's not like Shine on You Crazy Diamond where there's 2 parts and split it up. Dodge is just 17 minutes long, and the album Animals is, it might, low key, it might be their best work. It might be. It's very political. Like everything they talk about, like all the lyrics, it's very political. You got pigs, you got sheep, you got dogs. Let your
Yeah,
imagination.
it's a good song. I like that song. I like some Pink Floyd songs. I would say overall, though, if I listen to Pink Floyd for an entire album that's not like one of the 3 super huge ones, I can't do it.
Damn.
I actually don't think I've ever listened to any of their albums all the way through. I don't think I can stomach it. That's just not my. It's not my bag. It's really not. It's just not my thing. And we'll talk about this a lot. There's a lot of bands I hate for just absurd reasons. Pink Floyd is one that I gave a chance and couldn't get into. It's not the Doors or Metallica or Nirvana or a lot of those.
You don't like
bands
the Doors either?
No, I just have a huge prejudice against the Doors. The best Doors song is the one with Snoop Dogg on it.
Like I don't understand Metallica and
I got
Nirvana.
one
You not
song I was
liking,
gonna play tomorrow.
but the Doors. You don't think Jim Morrison's cool?
I actually can't stand his voice.
Wait
That's
a
one of my
minute, isn't
problems.
Jim Morrison like a notorious massive piece of shit?
Well, like musically, like I think the dude's cool. Like his voice, I think he sounds cool. He sounds like a rock star. It's cool. I don't know.
He definitely was one of the first ones to have a rock star persona. I understand the Doors are important. I don't know. I should probably re-listen to it again as an audio engineer and not just as a drummer. A lot of those, it is because
I will say this about the Doors though. The album L.A. Woman. It's fucking nuts, dude. Like the dude's like that's towards the end of his life when they recorded that. There's 2 hit songs on it, L.A. Woman and Loves Her Madly. But the other songs, dude, you can just tell the dude was tweaking when they were recording that shit. It is fucking nuts. Every single one. I was like, holy shit. And then my favorite album from then is their second one. Like that shit goes hard. But that's just me. I don't know. Everyone has their own thing. I don't like Eddie Van Halen. I don't like Van Halen. That's like that's the guy I don't like. I don't like AC/DC. I don't like it.
Van Halen plays a lot of stuff with no direction, but he definitely has chops.
I don't. That's probably why.
He definitely practiced a lot.
Eddie Van Halen might be my single favorite guitar player of all time.
Oh, we know we're picking on you.
They only
Look,
got one. They only got one album. Van Halen. It's their first album. I go off of albums. How good is the album? I don't care about singles. I don't care about.
so you don't like 1984
No.
or 5150
No.
or Van Halen 2?
You know their best song is the one he played keyboards on, Jump. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's off 1984.
Is that their best album though?
1984, I think, is
Maybe
their
I'm thinking
second
about the
best,
wrong album.
or best.
There's an
Panama,
album that's pretty
Jump.
good, but then like most of the like, I don't know. We can get into this.
So here's the thing. I don't hate Van Halen. I hate Eddie Van Halen.
I don't know anything about these people. I just go off their music.
So I don't like him as a human being, so I don't like the music, or I didn't like him as a human being. And I don't like, I don't like him, but I like Van Halen for the most part. Their tunes are fun to play.
I like Nirvana, but I don't care about the dude's personal. I don't care about the dude's personal life.
Oh,
I feel sorry for him,
I hate Nirvana.
but like,
So my Nirvana thing is because Kurt was trying to be bad on purpose, is what most people think. Most people think he wasn't bad at what he was doing. It was a persona.
but the Unplugged album is I like it.
They have some good songs.
The Unplugged album is pretty good,
What the hell's going on?
but I don't know. Some things are just not my thing. Some things are. This album, like, we went on a huge tangent, but like,
It was a good tangent, though, right?
I think this. Someone said it might have been Logan. This is like they built the foundation. They built the foundation. They have a vision. They just need to build the house now. The foundation's been built. I can hear it. It's in a few of these songs, but I think some of the songs are just too fucking long. That's like the biggest takeaway from it.
This is one of those bands is like seeing them at like the ground level like this, like seeing the first project. I want to see what the second one is. I want to see what the direction going is. And I'm excited for that. And I hope they reach out when there's more music in the works. I'd love to hear from them again. We'd love to probably chit chat with them.
Yeah, I'd love to have a chance at even some of this stuff to mix or cut, or I mean, I'd love to. I mean, this is one of those things that more isn't always more. This album is. I think a lot of things could be pulled back and songs trimmed down, and I could get an album I'd probably rate a solid 1.5, 2 points higher, just by trimming some stuff up and putting some tune on a couple places, and stuff that's all readily accessible in a DAW. But I know 100% what it's like to have a project like this, especially something that you've put a ton of time into, and just kind of sinking yourself into it. And at a certain point, you get married to what your thoughts are. And that's one of those things I'll talk about. Sometimes you just need an outsider perspective on stuff when you're doing it too. And maybe that happened here. Maybe I just don't share that perspective. So I don't know. I a lot of potential here though for an album that I feel like I really would have liked. I heard a lot of bands that I really like in here, and I think that's why my ratings were a little low. Is I think unfulfilled potential is one of my biggest gripes in a band situation.
So to kind of go off of that, I think when I can very obviously tell who your influence is by you taking like a lick or something like that and then playing it again, that's when I kind of have like more of a problem. Or if I'm like, that could have very easily fit into, and I can name a specific song, that's when it gets to be a little more of like, okay, clearly you know what you're doing. Clearly you like these people and you took their sound. Make it your sound with their sound. That's always what I've done. If you look at my guitar tone, it's a mix of like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eddie Van Halen, and Tim Henson, which is ungodly terrible.
Yeah, just keep the beeply boop squeak bops out of there and I'll be fine.
Exactly.
Hey, beeps and boops are still beeps and boops.
Beeping and booping and shit.
Yep. So I feel like we've talked a lot about album overall already, so we can just go straight into scores, and if we have anything else to add, we will. If not, we'll call it. Overall, I'm going to have to give this album a 6.5 out of 10.
I am sitting at 6.5.
I'll raise mine up to a 6.5. I think it could have been an 8 though.
I think it's a 6.
Yeah.
But this is not my genre of music.
That's the other thing. This is also a first project for a band. And I think 6.5 from most of us is pretty good for a first project.
I think the biggest message for the band is just kind of keep going. Think of the direction you want to go, map it out, follow the map. Is the easiest way. That's just kind of how you should live life in general. Draw something up. It's really easy to go in blind and think you'll come out with something. I mean, we've all done it before. There's songs I've gone into blind, recorded, put 8 hours of work into, and then deleted the entire thing because I hated it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you have that clear map, if you have that clear vision, if you have those bands pulling the reference tracks, it'll get so much easier. Everything opens up, and then you're doing, album 2 and 3 back to back, and you're having a good time.
So, I'll say one of the big things for this album that got me is it felt like it wasn't in a lane. I felt like we had this really cool live energy, long tracks, a lot of the classic rock influence in those big long tracks, big long solos, a lot of repeated stuff. And then you had the modern rock thing of overproduction. And if you're going to have this like live feel, this live length, don't spend a ton of time doing double tracks, doing layered parts, doing all this cool twinkly stuff that I noticed. The layers were killer in a lot of these songs. It's just, if you're going to do that, also pull the song length back and make it a more modern song. I don't know, it just kind of walked two lines in a really interesting way. So I'm super excited. Hopefully we can, retouch base in a couple years or hear the next album when it comes out, and I want to hear kind of which way they decided to go, because I think there's a lot of really cool things they could do with this sound, and the sound itself is there. It's good. There's a lot of good vibes and a lot of good energy and a lot of good feel in this album, and that's the thing you can't teach. The stuff we're talking about is all stuff like just
some dickhead could learn by opening up a book, like we all did.
Well, or find some influences you like and take what you need from places. Use reference tracks. Use it, and it doesn't sound like things weren't planned. It just sounds like maybe song structures weren't planned. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. I mean, and who knows? Maybe this album was put together pretty quickly. Maybe that's part of it too. I don't know.
I said all the things that weren't there are things that take time to develop how to make happen.
Right.
You're not gonna. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you've been a performing band for 15 years together. The second you become a recording band, that's a new thing that you have to then relearn how to do. I can record really well if I do all of the tracks. God damn, I hate recording with other people. It sucks. It's just, you just have to learn how to do it. And I think that they're learning, and it's going really well. And I'm really looking forward to other projects, yeah.
Boom.
All
Boom.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm trying to pull up next week's album. Join us next week where we're going to take a look at Purest Expression by the Gambles. They reached out on Instagram and asked us to take a look at their album, so that's what we're going to do.
And don't forget, if you aren't already yet, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to give us a like, leave a comment, tell us what we're screwing up, tell us what we suck at. We don't care. Any of that stuff helps.
Check out the merch, too.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
New merch coming probably tomorrow.
Maybe some coffee mugs. Just saying.